You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Game After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Game After Show.
Yeah! Welcome to The Game After Show. Bing is for doing. We are going to be talking about episode 16, a swan song for Rick and Tasha. And I am your host, Megan Thomas. And who are you guys?
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Ashley Gray. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at tweet Nina Marie G and on Instagram at Nina Marie Gray. And we have an amazing new host with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thanks for the warm welcoming there.
I try.
You guys are so hospitable.
We're so happy to have a guy in here again. That's what it is.
Exactly. It's the testosterone.
It is.
Yeah, right. Well, what's up, guys? I am Kevin John. You can follow me on Twitter at HeyKevinJohn or on Instagram at HeyKevinJohn. Or you can follow me home if you're cute. Whatever. All right, that was weird. But at any rate, I am so happy to be here and join this incredible panel of beautiful and talented ladies. So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We're so excited that you're our new co-host because, yeah, we need some guys on here.
Shout out to Brandon. We miss you.
Yes.
So we needed to find someone else, and we found Kevin.
Capable host.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get into this episode. So this episode I thought was hilarious. Just because finally the crap has hit the fan for Tasha yet again. And we talked about this in the past, about how she's not really happy. And now we finally see what's going on. So this episode starts off with Rick Fox and his comedy routine.
Oh, God.
Give it up for Rick Fox, y'all. Yeah. I'm proud of him. Stand-up is hard. I just did stand-up comedy for the first time this past week. And I will tell you, it's not an easy thing to get up in front of people and bare your soul and wait for a laugh. It's tough. So I applaud him for that. But his comedy's not that great. What do you guys say?
Not that great is an understatement. His comedy is absolutely horrendous.
It is, yes.
I mean, I've never in my life tried so hard to laugh at something that was not funny.
Right.
This kind of reminds me of, remember when Kim Kardashian stepped out and tried to sing, make an album or a song, and was totally out of her element? That's exactly what this reminded me of with Rick trying to do stand-up. It was just like one of those WTF moments.
Right.
And it was so painful to watch, but
Poor Rick.
you know, I was a fan of him on the Lakers, if that counts for anything.
So was everybody else, right?
Right?
Yeah. We start off this episode. We see that he's in the mirror, as most people are, just looking in there, doing his comedy routine with his hairbrush. He sees David Hasselhoff and the Obamas, and who else did he say was there?
Flavor Flav. Who
Somebody,
knows?
right? You know, he's doing his comedy routine, and then Tasha walks in and she uses the toilet, which, by the way, I think is hilarious. It shows that they're very close.
Yeah.
Sits down, takes a little pee. She doesn't wipe, by the way. Did you notice that?
I noticed that.
That was gross.
And
She
I
does
was
not
like,
wipe.
okay, so she didn't wipe. Hopefully she washes her hands, which, whatever.
She
Which
did.
was
She
more
washed her hands, so I'll
disturbing
give it
because
her.
didn't they have sex right after that? Her not wiping?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is true, right? Yeah, that's so
I mean, unless he's into that fetish kind of stuff.
Wow,
but
so
that's
do
R.
it.
Kelly, so that's a whole other story.
That is disgusting. Okay, well, that aside, we see that his comedy is horrendous, and it seems like Tasha's going to be supportive. At that point, did you guys think she was going to be supportive of his comedy career?
If you cannot tell from the silence, it's no. I honestly did not think that Tasha was going to be supportive of his career because I think that Tasha is just so self-absorbed. And so, and you can just tell between their interaction that she was just like, okay, yeah, so what's this you got going on? This is kind of okay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, she doesn't seem that supportive of his career, which it did come from left field. It's like, okay, well, now you're a comedian. What's going on, Rick? But I think that she still could have been a little bit more supportive than what she was.
Okay.
Initially.
Okay.
First things first, let me say this. It is hard for me to take a professional athlete serious anything outside of sports.
Why?
Whether that's making a rap album, whether that's starring in a, yes, Shaq, I'm talking about you. Whether that's starring in a movie. And by the way, big ups to Shaq, by the way, too. That was not a diss. Well, kind of. Have you heard Shaq Fu? At any rate, but yeah, I think that it's hard to take an athlete serious out of their, not to say that they can't do multiple things, but.
Magic Johnson.
Well, he's a businessman.
No,
right?
but how did he start off, though? He wasn't always a businessman.
Okay, so he had a talk show that lasted 2 hours or something like that.
Okay, but look, he found his niche. He had to, and I agree with you. But who's to say that you can't have a career after your main career?
And that's what I agree. And most athletes do. It's called sports commentating or journalism or broadcasting.
But not all of them are so well spoken like Charles Barkley. I mean, not all of them can do that. So what about the guys who have a passion to do stand-up comedy?
What they do is they do what Shaq does. You produce stand-up comedy tours and just put your name on it. Shaq presents. Rick Fox presents stand-up comedy.
Okay.
But, and this is the thing. I'm not trying to say limit yourself to only what you're, to what you're good at. But at the same time, do what you're good at. You know? So he's a hell of a player on the court, but
not so much. Not so much.
I think, you know what? I think that it's possible for him to be successful as a comedian. However, he needs to work at his craft. And it seemed like this came from left field, and he really didn't give himself time to really build, his craft and really work on his skill as a comedian. I do think that he can come out as a ball player and then be a comedian, but he just needs to work on it a little bit more.
And I think he was headed in that direction, because, that's what comedians are supposed to do. You got to hit up open mics. That's really how you get better. You can go to classes, but at the end of the day, you really just being in front of a crowd and putting your material out there is really what gets you the laughs and gets you to understand what works for you. So I think he was headed in the right direction. Yeah. He's tried to sign up for open mic.
He tried. He tried.
He tried to get booked for open mic, and Tasha says, he's like, you just signed up.
He signed up for open mic, but at least he tried.
Signed up in a book.
Right, there you go. So he was booked. Yeah. So then we see that Tasha, after they have their morning romp, Tasha comes out to talk to
without her wiping.
Right. Comes out to talk to Brandy, also known as Chardonnay, on the show. And Chardonnay, as we remember from last episode, is now staying with Tasha because she decided to leave her husband for a while he plays and wrecks his body in football. And I will say, Chardonnay, for her to be as crazy as she is, she gave Tasha some sound advice, and she said, you should be more supportive. And she even says to Tasha, why is it that the first thing that comes out of your mouth is a lie? When you talked to Rick about his career, the first thing you did was a lie. Why aren't you honest? And this has been a recurring problem with Tasha. Yeah. And I will say I'm glad this episode she reaps what she sows. I will say that because of the lies. Do you guys agree?
Well, first of all, Chardonnay does not need to be at Tasha's house on her couch.
Where should she be?
She should be at home with her husband trying to work it out. Like, how can you give someone else advice when you're sleeping on my couch and you're not with your husband trying to work it out? I understand that, you guys are having some problems, but you're grown at the end of the day and you're married. Right. So,
to her defense, she did give her husband an ultimatum, though, as I recall. She made him choose between football or her. And you got to look, I think she had the best intentions. Look at all the studies that have come out with NFL players that have concussions or serious
Parkinson's,
mental health issues that stem subsequently after their career. So I think she had the best intentions, but a man's going to be a man, and they're going to choose to do what they want to do. They don't want someone telling them what they can't do. So
this is off topic, but I find it very interesting because we have a male perspective, and last week we did not.
Yes.
So if your wife
wasn't there a man on here last week?
No, not last week.
Okay.
No, not last week.
No, we did. We had Sean.
Really? Oh, we did.
Yes.
Shout out to Sean. I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sorry.
She's
I'm
saying you
sorry. I love
basically aren't manly enough, okay?
No, okay, listen. Okay, well,
Go
I
ahead.
retract that statement. I would like to know your perspective on the situation. So if a woman was to come to you and you guys have been married for a couple of years, I don't know how long Chardonnay and Jason have been married, and she says to you, you know, it's either or, football or me.
Well, first of all, I think the worst thing a woman can ever do is give a guy an ultimatum.
Exactly, and that
Worst
was
thing
my
ever.
point last week. I was like,
Worst thing
you
ever.
cannot just come and tell me
Exactly.
or a man it's either going to be this or this, because I am not going to tolerate that bull
Right.
crap. It's not going to happen.
See, if you're a good woman, you're going to work out this and
Work
this
it
and make
out.
a compromise somewhere.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I completely disagree with her approach on it, but I do understand where she's coming from, and I think
Yes.
she had the best intentions.
I totally agree with that. But my point, bringing it back to the conversation that we were having, is that she needs to get up off that couch and go speak to her husband.
Right.
And work it out. So stop trying to give advice to Tasha and meditate to yourself and say, you know what, I was wrong. I need to approach this situation differently
Right.
and go speak to my husband and talk it out.
Right.
Get off her couch.
Get
That's
off
all
her,
I gotta say.
Get off your buddy's couch.
That's all I gotta say.
But what you do need to do is get Adventures of Serial Buddies. Is that not
Yes.
correct?
Lovely segue.
Right. That's how we do.
Golden. Yes, please get Serial Buddies. One of the most hilarious films to come out within the last few years.
Yes.
Everybody is in that cast. I mean, any funny comedic personality you can think of is in that cast. So please go and get it. You can check it out on serialbuddies.com, or you can cop it on iTunes. It is a definite to have, especially if you like comedy and you like to laugh. Get Serial Buddies.
And speaking of iTunes, I'm sorry,
Right.
Megan, to
No,
cut
go
you
ahead,
off.
go.
Speaking of iTunes, we love the support that you give us. Make sure that you continue that support by going to iTunes, rate this AfterBuzz TV show, as well as all the other amazing ones. Comment, because we love to have your input on our conversation, and share it with a friend so that we can continue to deliver this amazing content to you every single day.
Right, 5 stars,
here
5
for you.
stars. And so what is crazy about this situation is that Tasha continuously emasculates her men. And she does this when she goes to the comedy club with Chardonnay, and she pays the crowd to laugh. That has to be the most humiliating thing you can do to your man. And in her defense, she
No, you
did
can say he has a small penis. That is the most humiliating.
and then hire people to laugh at that. Like, that would be,
Hey,
that's probably
maybe
even worse.
Rick should have used that joke as his part of his act.
Right. Something.
That was laughing.
His poor little jokes, poor baby. You know, I guess she did have okay intentions. She didn't want him to get his feelings hurt by people not laughing at him. But at the end of the day, he's a grown man, and he needs to know. He needs to know if he's funny or not. And sometimes you have to not enable people. You have to let them fall. You have to let them learn on their own. And her trying to, I guess, control her relationship and say, I don't want his feelings to hurt. I don't want him to not do what he really wants to do. So I'm going to pay these people to laugh and have him think that he's funny.
It's a power thing with Tasha. Power.
It is.
Tasha needs to go ahead and release that notion of thinking I have to always be in control and I have to control every single
That
situation.
manager
Yeah,
aspect,
exactly.
you
But
know.
Right.
Tasha isn't managing him, so she needs to just be that girlfriend and that support system that he needs. And when he realizes that, you know, actually I'm not as funny as I think I am, be that support and be that shoulder that he'll have to, because he gonna be crying because he ain't funny.
Right.
I just think Tasha just needs to be real with him. You know, I don't think she needs to, you know, manipulate an audience or do anything deceiving like she did by paying them. I think she just needs to keep it real. You can still support someone at what they're
Right.
doing and be honest with them.
Right.
I think that what she did was just absurd, ridiculous, and, you know.
Expensive.
And expensive. Thank you very much. You know, even though if she would have paid for me to get some shopping at Goodwill, I may have been part of the audience. But,
Right.
you know, it kind of reminds me of, like, you know, that mother that tells everyone their child needs to be a model. You know,
Right.
my child's so cute, he needs to be a model, and he's cross-eyed, has 2 teeth missing, you know, and looks like a member out of the Addams Family. But
Right.
you keep saying that, and I think you need to be honest. You could support someone and still be honest with them.
Yes. And because of her dishonesty Rick now thinks he's so funny that he's going to headline a tour.
Yes.
Because he is at that stage in his career. He's done one open mic. He's now at the point in his career he needs to headline a tour. The people on his tour, Dave Chappelle,
Wow.
Jerry Seinfeld.
First of all, how is he even going to get? Where is he going to get Dave Chappelle? Where is Dave
Apparently,
Chappelle?
who knows? Who knows? Apparently, they're great friends, and he
Right.
can just call them like that. Oh, and he said rock. You know, going back to good old rock. Okay. Wow.
And what do they call themselves? The God of
The
Comedy.
gods of comedy.
Gods of Comedy. Wow.
So now this is,
That's
I blame
blasphemy.
Tasha. I blame Tasha because now he thinks he's so amazing because of the false laughter that he got. And so now she's like, what am I going to do?
But you know what? It has to be, I'm trying to play both sides of the fence and put myself in Tasha's position.
Right.
It has to be hard to tell the person that you love, supposedly, allegedly love, baby, you're not that good. It's like, how do I even put those words together? I
Right.
don't want to hurt his feelings. And, I rather make him feel good and feed his ego rather than keep it real with him and hurt his feelings. Because I don't think that Tasha presumed that he was going to just go ahead and headline a tour
Right.
after one open mic, So I think that she was really just trying to, tell him that he was good, even though he
Right.
wasn't, just to, save face and just try and make him feel good about himself.
And that's a problem with Tasha because she's just a liar.
She
And what she said? She said he's funny like a false positive HIV test. I was like, oh, baby, you got to tell him the truth.
Yeah.
If that's how you describe his humor. So yeah, I mean, I blame her. This is the reason why she keeps getting herself into these situations is because of her own lies. She keeps digging that grave. So let's take a break from them and talk about Blue and Kira, or as the social media has been calling them,
Blah.
Blira. But then she said what? She wanted to be called Blira or Blue. No. Oh, Clue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Girl, I was like, come on, girl,
Yeah,
you
she
got
said-
it.
The lady from Marie Claire said that they were going to call them Blira, but she's like, oh, we wanted to be called Clue. Apparently, they're now being called Blah.
Yeah.
Because everyone's saying that Kira is a bad luck charm for Blue. Do you guys think that that's true, that people can truly be bad luck charms and cause people's games to be bad?
Yes, if any Dallas Cowboys fans are watching and they know about Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo in the 2009 NFC playoffs, they will absolutely 100% emphatically agree with that.
I don't think that they're a bad luck charm per se. I think that they are a distraction, and it just throws the individual's game off because their focus is not on the game. So, I mean, in a sense, you can call it a bad luck charm, but I don't think that her being there present at the games, rooting her man on, is necessarily bad. What I think is that they shouldn't have, that interaction maybe that morning or the night before. He should distance himself from Kira so that his game is on point and so that he is focused. And I feel that Kira, as a girlfriend, should realize this is his career, this is what he needs to focus on right now, and give him that time and that space before, a day or before the game or that morning of the game.
Exactly, and I 100% agree with you. I think that, especially, as a man, and I can say, when we're in the zone and
Right.
we're trying to focus or prepare or, get ready for whether it's a game, a show, a performance, what have you, we need that time. So by her coming over there and asking, begging for kisses and all this other stuff, which was cute, but I just think that, look, give this man his space, whether it's 10 hours before the game or 10 hours after, whatever it is, give this man his space. Let Blue concentrate on winning the ball game.
But in her defense, she went to just go wish him good luck. That's,
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
she went-
wasn't trying. She
But it kind
wasn't
of
trying
turned
to.
and escalated into
And it escalated because what? The lie that Blue gave her. Because initially she was feeling bad about it. She was like, I don't like the fact that people are saying that I'm bad luck and then all this superstitious stuff. And what did he say to her? He said it was fine. He's like, no, it'll blow over. Don't listen to them, whatever. So now that he's feeding into it and she thinks everything's okay, that was really the issue. That's why she got mad, because she's like, what happened to this is just going to blow over. And he's like, well, people are talking, it's in my head. So was he wrong in that aspect to treat her differently because he now started to let this stuff sink in? Or was it still her fault?
Well, obviously, he let some of those things influence, his behavior towards her. A lot of that stuff was getting into his head and kind of dictating that, the way he acted with her from that point on. So I think he needs to be strong in his skin and not, be persuaded or influenced by what everyone's saying or the media is saying. Because obviously they have a high profile, relationship. And of course, people are going to perpetuate things. So he needs to be strong in that. And they just need to essentially block out everything and, not worry about what the media is saying, the superstition, the bad luck, all this other stuff, because it's going to be detrimental to their relationship.
Right.
See, this is what I get from it. I feel like as a couple, they were focusing too much on the superstition aspect of it and not realizing that maybe we just need to spend this time, it's a distraction.
Right.
And I think there's a big difference between that. I'm not a superstitious person. So if I was in Kira's situation, I'd be like, wait, I don't believe in that.
Right.
And then I'd be like, wait, well, maybe I just need to give you some time, before the night before the game or the day before the game, just to, it's not superstitious. Honestly, you're just distracted.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that Blue was totally in the wrong for saying that, because he truly do believes that maybe it is going to blow over. Maybe he's a superstitious person.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I don't know, maybe he's not a realist and he's into that superstition world, whatever, Blue, but
There's superstition.
I don't know. So I don't think that he was totally in the wrong, because I think that it was coming from an honest place. He really did truly believe that the media would just, everything would blow over and they would just forget about it. So
Right. And I will say this, that reporter who was there
girl
would get punched in her face. She was so snarky. She's so rude.
Very rude.
Like, so rude. If you're coming here to interview me, how about you're nice? How about that? I didn't do anything to you. And the way she was talking to her, like, you guys have only been together, what, a week? Like, Trick, you don't know my story.
Yeah.
You don't know my testimony. So back up. That's what I would say.
Jesus.
You don't know my testimony.
Exactly.
That's how to put that. She would have got punched in her face.
I
Not
totally
really,
do
but-
agree. It was very unnecessary how her whole delivery, and it just wouldn't have went down like that. But Kira handled herself very well.
She did.
So,
She did.
Yeah, kudos to her.
So then this episode closes out with Tasha and Chardonnay going to another open mic that Rick does, but this time the crowd's not paid and he doesn't get any laughs. So Tasha tries to save him. She's sticking up for him, and she doesn't like that the crowd is now going in on him, and she gets up. Should she have tried to save him?
Yes. Well, no, but it is very I predicted that she was going to do that, because that's Tasha. But I'm so torn, because I probably would have tried to save my man too. I can't let him go down like that.
Someone had to throw him a lifeline. I mean, he was sinking.
Because even if it wasn't my dude up on stage and it was just like hecklers.
Yes, hecklers.
You can say
in
hecklers.
in the crowd, I feel like I still would have said something, just because that's just my sassy nature. Like, wait a minute, dude, because you know. So I think that I probably would have, but was it right? Probably not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. I mean, that was bad for anyone to watch. I mean, even if I had no relationship to the person, if just watching anyone bomb like that on stage is just a very discomforting feeling.
Right.
But then again, from his perspective, he's up there trying to put on a show, and his girl is trying to pull him out and save him. Think what that does to his ego. Think what that does to his confidence. Think, what does that do to a man if your girl has to come and save your day and save your butt? That did absolutely nothing for his esteem. And I mean, and his comedy probably didn't do anything for his esteem. But I just for him to suffer something like that, I feel her. I feel on what she was trying to do, but in retrospect, like, damn, I mean, she might as well just took his heart out and threw it or something.
And I mean, think about it, because when you have a passion and you want to do something, the last thing you want is for somebody to come and help save you. And you're like, you know what? If I was going to fail, let me fail on my own. I got to learn. This is what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And he even mentions that to her when he finally goes backstage with his pit stains, by the way, which was horrendous.
There was just all over the place.
Seriously, that looked like Rihanna's tattoo. You know how she has a tattoo underneath her boobs? Like, seriously, Rick Fox had the Rihanna tattoo.
I've never seen Rihanna's boobs, but that's good to know.
Now you know.
I see it on Instagram, so I'm like, go and look under her boobs.
Sure, stage 5 clinger. We already called it out last week.
Pull it up.
Facebook stalker over it. No, but seriously though, like he's got the sweat stains, and he's backstage.
It was like a bra sweat stain, like
a bra sweat, right?
You know, it's so bad when it looks obvious.
Wait a minute. How do you know what bra sweat is like? Silence. Silence.
I
AfterBuzz.
didn't know there was a such thing as bra sweat, but
Oh, there is, honey.
I go to the gym. I see girls working out with sweat coming from their.
Somebody
Anyways,
else, the stage 5 clinger
this is
on the show. Okay, I can't.
Yeah, this is going completely left, and we're going north.
So the point is, Rick, you know, he bombs, he does. And I honestly feel that Tasha should have let him. The only thing she should have done was clap loud. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's what she should have done, okay? She should have laughed like it was so freaking hilarious. She should have clapped her
wouldn't that been
hands.
kind of mocking in a way if she was laughing like hysterically?
She'd be like, oh my gosh, that is so funny. She could have done that in a way that wasn't
But
mocking.
then, I do agree with
it's hard to not laugh sometimes when other people laugh. Like, you kind of want to be like, oh, they laughed. Okay, I kind of want to laugh too. It softens you up a little bit. So she could have done that
Yeah.
instead
like
of
broke the, you know,
the ice.
Right.
broke the ice. Thank
Yeah.
you.
instead of getting up and taking the shine away from him.
Yeah.
You know, it's like she came to his job to do his job.
Right.
You don't want anybody come to your job to do. You're like, look, this is my job. Whether I am great or not, this is still my job.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to come here and do my job. And that's what she did. And again, she emasculates him. She cuts off the man parts. Always.
Yeah.
Oh, she straight up castrated him.
Right.
Yeah, that was bad.
So he tells her, he says, you know, she basically says that she tries to save him. And he's like, what? Save me?
Right.
Okay, got you. And she tells him that she paid the crowd, which, do you think she should, at this point, do you think she should have told him?
I think that eventually she should have bought it up, but not right now. I think it was the bad timing.
The timing, okay, the timing may not have been perfect, but I still think she should have went ahead and told him because his head was just so huge.
Right.
After that, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go tour a comedy and da-da-da-da. And, you know, even when he was backstage, he was still kind of, on himself. So I think she just, it's kind of like when you just poke a balloon and just deflate the ego. I think that's why she had to tell him that she paid the audience because it's like, look, calm down. You know, you're not that funny. This is why. They were laughing.
I just feel like she threw so many bombs right there.
Too many.
She said what?
Too many.
She said that she tried to save him, that she paid the crowd. She said that I think I made the wrong choice.
I'm not happy.
Not happy.
That's just too
she
much.
She said it. Your penis small. Like, I feel like that was going to be the next thing. Like, you might as well keep
You got
going.
bra sweat.
Right.
I mean, I just feel like it was just too, like you said, too many bombs dropped at once. And I feel that if she would have never said that she paid the audience, then the conversation would not have continued going downhill. I think that everything just would have evened out.
Right.
And, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. And now, it's just not going to work anymore because she ruined it pretty much.
She did. And I think if she was just honest with him from the get-go, then that would have, obviously alleviated all these issues and problems that came with.
Right.
When I say honest, as far as his comedy sucking.
Right.
They could have fixed that. Maybe she could have helped him out. I helped him write comedy or something. Who knows? But
Tasha Mack.
Tasha, right? You know what I mean?
And then, of course, and that just adds insult to injury when she gets on stage and has to, like, Tasha Mack, y'all, thank you.
Make sure you tip the bar at the bar.
Right. Oh, so now this is your job. You really just, you know what I'm saying? So
After they were chanting her name, I was like, damn, what is this, Rudy here?
That just made it horrible. So he calls her a middle-aged, loud, obnoxious, no fashion sense having, unhappy woman, which is true.
And that was the funniest comedy there. He had it in him all along. I was like, dude, that was hilarious.
It's the truth of the matter. Right. And he says what we've been saying for a long time, which is we always come back to the root issue of Tasha, and that is whether she was with Pookie, whether she was with Rick, she just wasn't happy. And he's like, you wouldn't be happy with me. You wouldn't be happy with anybody. So you need to figure out why you're not happy before you end up alone for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And that is so true. Not even with just Tasha, but a lot of people are like that. They just don't understand why nobody makes them happy. Happiness comes from within.
Yes.
You got to fix that first before you can ever get happiness from anybody else. So I think that is so true. And at this point, I don't know what Tasha's gonna do, man. I really don't.
You know what? She's
gonna start and go out on her own comedy tour.
There you go.
She's gonna headline it.
I know. Well, that brings us up to predictions. Let's predict on away.
You know what? It's okay because it's gonna do our. There we go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
You guys are lightning fast.
We are. Like the fast. That's not like.
The kind of
Definitely not a lightning
like
sound.
ET in here.
Okay, so Kim John, what's gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen?
First of all, Rick is gonna quit stand up forever, the rest of his life, and never pick up another microphone.
Okay.
So help me God. I think that Chardonnay, she's gonna go and try to reconcile things with Jay, and I think they're gonna try to work things.
Okay.
You know, they're gonna try to work things out. I believe that. I don't know. Blue and Kira, thank you. The funny thing with them is they have this real interesting kind of relationship, back and forth kind of thing. I would like to say they're going to just stick it out and ignore all of the media circus around them. But I think that may be the fall of their relationship in episodes to come.
Okay.
Or whatever they have going on there.
Okay.
And and also Tasha goes and gets therapy.
Oh, that'll be great. Who do you think is gonna be a therapist?
I don't know. Maybe she should go to Meta World Peace Therapist. You know, I heard he has or Dennis Rodman's. I think they all have the same one.
Right.
So.
That would be efficient.
Yeah.
Right.
Very efficient.
All right, so I think that Blue and Kira, you know what? This is going to be, they're coming across some troubling times. I think that they're going to end up breaking up, but then, of course, get back together, whatever. Their relationship to me seems very high school and very premature. They don't have a mature relationship. Therefore, they're going to let all of these different variables, the media, different people in their ears, that's what's going to ultimately break them up. I think some stuff is going to get published in the papers and the magazines, and they're both going to get wind to it and let it get to them, and it's going to be the end of them. With Tasha, she's gonna get cracked out. She's gonna be, I mean, I'm sure, hopefully she's not turned into a crackhead, but she loves her drinks.
She does.
So I feel like she's gonna become an alcoholic, and you know who's gonna give her the advice? Her son.
Right.
Because her son been through it, and he knows that alcohol is not the way, boys and girls. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And then let's see, Chardonnay. Y'all already know that I want Chardonnay to go back to her man and talk it out. So I feel like that's what she's gonna do, but Jason is not gonna have it. And Kelly is coming back. Jason was like, okay, you know what? I tried it with the black girl. I tried it. But she didn't want to give me no peace.
No.
And so he going back to Kelly. I feel like Kelly is gonna make an appearance in future episodes. I just have a feeling. I think so.
Wow.
I do not want Kelly to come back. I love Chardonnay. and Jason together.
Yes, I do. But Chardonnay with Jason, you can't be that strong. You know, Jason doesn't really go after that strong.
But he did with Chardonnay.
He did, but he's now realizing, like, look, who is she telling me what to do? Like, nah, Kelly ain't never do that.
No man wants a woman telling them how to live their life.
No, Jason don't want no man.
She's doing this because she doesn't want him to die prematurely.
Yeah, which like I said, she has great intentions.
Good intentions.
So,
great intentions behind it.
Like I said last week, I think he's gonna get hurt. And then he's gonna come to his senses. Like, he's gonna get seriously injured. And he's like, you know what, you're right. Let me just hang it up.
Or he's gonna make some touchdowns, have the winning touchdown, win the game, and Chardonnay's gonna be like, wait. And then Jason's gonna be like, yeah, I'm back. And then he's gonna go and have a couple of more good games. And then he's gonna hang it up and be like, you know what, I did this. And Chardonnay's gonna be like, okay, maybe I was wrong. Boom.
I don't think that's too nice. That is way too nice for the game, honey. No, I honestly think that we see in the next week's episodes, the sneak peek, that Blue's dad comes back. The sergeant comes back.
I love him. That's Moesha's dad.
Moesha's daddy. I mean, they bringing everybody off of the. If you was on the show with somebody in the past, we're gonna bring him back to the show.
If you was on UPN in the mid-90s,
we're gonna make sure
resurrect you right now, bring you back.
Right, Cass, a girlfriend's gonna be on here. Everybody. So the sergeant comes back and he does not approve of this relationship because, like he said, he did not send his son to come and get shacked up with this girl. He sent his son to come play football. Unemployed actress. So that's got to sting, and especially when your parents don't like who you're with. It makes it really hard. So I think they're going to have some problems there. And then, of course, we see Tasha as a wino. She's in the bed talking to that drink, talking to her new love.
I think your premonition was correct then.
Right. That's right. Very true. And then we also see that Malik gets into a little trouble here because he punches Tori's, I guess, baby dad. baby daddy. Remember from the other episodes?
The photo
Oh,
shoot.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we were introduced to Tori.
Well, he came at him wrong, so I think that punch
did.
is probably justified.
Right, but I think this is going to cause some issues for Malik. He's probably going to get arrested,
Yeah.
and of course, he's going to have
Again.
some issues with the team and in the media.
And then Jason's gonna step in because Malik's gonna be gone, and then he's gonna be making those winning touchdowns.
and then he's going to get hurt, and he's going to be in a body cast, and he's going to say, "I'm so sorry, I love you, Chardonnay, come back to me." That's
And
it,
then
right?
by that time, Chardonnay would have got with Rick Fox, and
Right.
it would
And
have
this-
just been done.
Right.
Exactly.
This whole story about to get messed up. We done wrote
Flip-flop.
the whole end of the season. All right, where can we find you guys at?
You can find me on Facebook, Facebook/Kevin John Host. You can find me on Twitter at Hey Kevin John, Instagram Hey Kevin John, and yeah, that's it. My website www.itskevinjohn.com.
It was a blast, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Ashley Gray. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at tweet Nina Marie G, and follow me on Instagram at Nina Marie Gray, and add me as a friend on Facebook.
Yes, and as always, you can catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Meg Scoop on all three. I'd love to hear from you. And make sure you always go to StereoBuddies.com, download Adventures of Stereo Buddies,
Yes.
because you help us right here at AfterBuzz TV.
He's taking it out.
He sure is.
I'm like, ooh, can I get
Until
a
next
sip of
week.
water?
Bye.
Can I get this? Okay. My bad.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.